Alright, everybody, this is kind of the episode 2 of Gargantuan, so I'm gonna show you this massive building slash machine that I've nicknamed Gargantuan. This is on our realm called Shenanigans. So we kind of went through the iron farms last time and the sugar and cactus farms on the end, as well as the mass smelter over there. So if you haven't seen those, check out episode 1. You can see how those work. So kind of the other couple of things that I'm really proud of here. I'm hungry, so I can't sprint anymore. This stack here is a mob spawner. So this is pretty common. You'll see these tutorials on how to build some of these. There are several different concepts, and this is the second or third one I've tried because mob spawners just don't work as good in Bedrock, at least from what I'm finding. So you can do other things where it's just kind of like an enclosed. I was building like an enclosed box that had streams of water running through each side of it in the middle, and then use trapdoors. So open trapdoors, and the mobs would walk over the trapdoors and fall into the streams and push them in. So we can see here's a spider that just fell. So that's awesome that this thing is actually working here while we're recording. So that's how that works. As you saw in episode 1, there's a killing chamber down at the very bottom, so eventually that spider will fall down. Other mobs fall better than spiders, obviously. But they all end up down at the bottom, so all of the iron golems, any mobs that spawn here, all end up in the same killing chamber at the very center bottom of the facility. So that is kind of awesome to be down there and just randomly watch mobs falling down. But kind of the way this one works is there's just observers, observer blocks through the middle that are connected to dispensers that dispense and suck in water. So the water pushes them out to pushes all the mobs out to the edge, and then they fall into this kind of collection basin here. And then the water will turn off and on to allow mobs to spawn when the water is off. So that's kind of the concept there. And like I said, there's a lot of variations to this that are out there that you can definitely check out. This one here is, and I don't think I have it running, but this is a pumpkin and melon farm, so this is also fully automatic. And I've made an on-off switch here, so I'm going to turn it on, and yay, it works. Okay, so the way this works is that minecart, right now it's not really doing anything, it's just kind of running the course. But once it gets up to the next level, you can see there's pistons here. So it'll come through here, it'll end up over here, and it'll go up to the next level. It'll run on top of those pistons and actually have activator rails right on top of the pistons. So what will happen is the pistons will fire, and I've got half slabs on the end of each piston that kind of seem to work the best as far as not making melons and pumpkins go flying to places you don't want them. So you can see it hit that first row there, and it's actually, we can get a better view of what's going on up here. It hit that first row, and now it's going through. So here's the minecart now, and as it runs up and down this level, it is activating pistons that are hitting all the melons. Awesome! So it goes back and forth a few times, and then what's going to happen is it will get up to this final level up here. So we'll wait for it here. Hopefully I'm not in the way. There it goes. So now it's doing the same exact thing for the pumpkins. And I haven't been too scarce on materials. I've done a lot of legwork here. So I've got a lot of powered rails. But basically the concept here is you always want non-powered rail, activator rail, powered rail, activator rail. So like you don't want to have a powered rail on the end. So that way it's always hitting an activator rail first. So you see how the ends all have activator rails first. So what's happening is it's activating the powered rail, so that's how it's keeping the minecart going. And there's always an activator right before the powered rail, so that's kind of how that works. And then at the same time, it's hitting the pistons below it, and then those are going off. So, I mean, it's a little redundant here where I just basically had it turn around up there, so it's literally just going through and activating pistons that it had already activated. It was just my way of keeping the system simple and neat and tidy. But now once it goes back down below and does the same thing on this level here, it is actually collecting those pumpkins now. So if we go back up, we can kind of, if you look on the other side over there, through all the glass that I put in this thing, you can see the pumpkins that are broken disappearing. That's because the minecart's running underneath. So yep, hopper minecart running underneath, and then at the same time, it's actually, with this level, it's simultaneously activating the pistons that are breaking the melons too. So that's kind of a plus. So the efficiency kind of goes up when it just runs on that level there. And then the final stage is the very bottom. It will just run through underneath all of those areas again, just to do a collection of the melons that it's broken. So then what happens is it ends up back here. Let's see, can we even see where the minecart is? There it is. All right, so it's almost done. So great. So what'll happen is this is a really standard minecart unloader. Everybody uses this. It's so easy and so basic, it's hard not to. But the thing I was running into with Bedrock, and let's see how many we got here. Okay, so like half stack of pumpkins and then a lot more melons. So actually it was probably, yeah, I couldn't even collect all the melons. So I wasn't leaving this thing run. I had turned it off, so it had too many pumpkins and melons had grown. Anyway, so what I was running into here with this, the minecart unloader, is it wasn't, the powered rail underneath the hopper there wasn't shutting off fast enough. So the concept is, as items fall in to this hopper, and these are all falling in through and going into the sorter, by the way. But as items get into this hopper, it triggers this comparator, which then flips this light, and then hits this repeater, and then it unpowers the rail. So, and then once the hopper here no longer has items in it, meaning this one's not spitting any more out, it powers the rail again. So awesome concept. It doesn't work well on Bedrock, but it's so easy to fix. So all I've done is added this activator rail here to power the system here. So what happens is, what was happening was the powered rail wasn't going to unpowered fast enough. So the minecart would hit it and then just bounce back off and go back into the system and never actually unload all the items. So this activator rail here goes and powers the block back there, and then unpowers the powered rail that it's currently sitting on right now. And so with these two blocks, the timing is perfect. It hits this and it's unpowered, and then for like a second, but it's perfect because then the actual old school system of the items being in the hopper then takes over and is unpowering it. So it's awesome. So that's how you fix that problem. Let's see, what else do we got here? Okay, so yeah, we'll take another trip back downstairs. I think I went through the chicken farm, maybe in the first episode. I don't think so. So this is a pretty standard chicken farm. I've expanded it just slightly. But kind of the way this concept works is there's chickens up here, full-grown chickens, and you can use eggs, just throw the eggs in there, let the chickens grow up and become adults, and then they lay their own eggs. And then underneath them is actually hoppers, and then what happens is the hoppers feed into a dispenser under there, and there's some a little bit of redstone workage, but so if you're interested in that, let me know. But there are tons of tutorials out there on how to make this similar automatic chicken farm, so check those out. But the way mine works is I've got a couple of chambers filled with chickens, and so you're seeing the baby chickens coming out here. So what happens is whenever, and you just saw some eggs come through. So what happens is, and there's a chicken dying. So what happens is the eggs spit out, and every once in a while from the egg you get a baby chicken, and then the chickens sit here, and there's a half slab there. So the baby chickens fit underneath the half slab and then a full block there. So once they grow up, they get suffocated and die, and then there's a hopper under there that goes and feeds into the sorting system. So that's the way that works. So that it's so easy, it's so simple, and it's completely automatic. Now, the one thing that is a little bit awkward with Bedrock here is I was running into, if you're like just the perfect distance away from this farm, what I was running into was the chickens were escaping. So like something wasn't rendering, but the chickens were, and they were like walking out. I had no idea, you couldn't see it because I was too far away. So that's happened to me a couple of times, and so the way around that is I've got these backup chickens back here. These also have hoppers all underneath them, but when they're in boats, they can't walk anywhere. So if I do have a chicken escape, these chickens here are still producing eggs that are feeding into this system. So it's a little ugly, but It's kind of funny. So that's kind of how I've gotten around that. It's been a while since I've had to replace my chickens in the actual farm, so that's been great. And then the other thing too that I was running into is a lot of people do a like a redstone timer that spits lava out up here every once in a while, and that way the chickens, instead of getting suffocated, they're killed by fire, and then the chicken is cooked, and so you end up with cooked chicken instead of raw chicken. So right now, so that chicken died, and so raw chicken is going all the way up through here, and oh, we've got a iron golem dying, great. And so those items feed all the way over here through to these item elevators, and they go up into the system. They're probably traveling through the hoppers right now. We'll see if they actually make it. There we go. So that's either the iron or the chicken that we saw die, and vice versa on the other side. So what happens is those get fed all the way back up to the top of the sorter, and actually with raw meat, including chicken, I gotta show you this. So actually, nope, we got distracted. We got off track. So what I was explaining with the killing the chickens with lava. So what's happening there is the same kind of scenario with chickens escaping when you're a certain distance away. The same thing was happening to my redstone timers. So the timer would spit the lava out, and then I'd be too far away or something, and the lava would stay spit out. So I'd have lava out longer than it was supposed to be, and not only would it kill the chicken and cook it, but then it would also destroy the items sometimes, so I feel like I was getting a lot less output. So my way around this, and this is all awesome, this is interconnected, so we'll go back up to the top here. But basically what I've done is I've sorted out the raw meats as well. So as you can see here, like this is the top level of the sorter, but in the corners, if we go into the back, so this one is for the meats, there was all this extra space over here, and of course, you know, there's no space now because I filled it in. But basically, here's the items that are being sorted and fed through the wall to those chests. But then I have, oh, and something's cooking here. Oh, it was. Darn. So these are storage items here, and as you can see, I don't have very many of whatever that is. So these are, I've recreated the sorter, but it's now filtering out coal. So that gets fed into the side of the furnace there, and then the rest are filtering out the raw meat. So these other ones in these corners, and I'm like stuck. These are all filtering out. So there's pork, this one chicken, and mutton. So those all get sorted out separate if it's raw, and then fed into here. And then we are above where the cooked meats are sorted. So I'm literally just have, instead of sending it over to the item elevators, they get put in, they get added to the system right below our feet here. And then we've done the exact same thing on the other side except for ores. So again, I'm filtering out some coal, and what you have to do is flood your system with coal so that coal can pass to the next one. But as you can see here, this sorter is filtering out iron ore, this one is sorting out gold ore, and then it's feeding into here. So anytime you drop ore into the system, it's getting sorted out and smelted first, and then it ends up at the very bottom of the sorting system. It gets sorted, basically gets sorted again. It runs through a second sorter. So let's go down there, and I can kind of show you where that is. So it's a good thing I built this myself, because then I know where everything is. So here's the iron. So between it's full of course. Between the 4 iron farms on each corner, and then anybody that throws in ore, it fills this chest up pretty quick. So what I'm doing is I just go and convert them into blocks of iron, and then dump them into the sorter, and those get shoved in here too. So we've got plenty of materials, plenty of iron at least. So like I said, if we're doing everything on Bedrock, I'm doing everything on Xbox. So this is my Xbox One account. So if you're interested in how to build anything, how to modify it for the Bedrock edition, the Better Together update, whatever you want to call it, let me know in the comments. If you want to see how any of the farms or systems that I've built here are working, again, just like the video, follow the channel, and leave a comment what you'd like to know. So that is it for Gargantuan for now. There will definitely be some more episodes in the future here to come. As you can see, it's still kind of a skeleton. It just recently got these exterior walls on the first level, on this lower level here. So that's kind of how that's working. Oh, and actually, there's one more farm I can show you here. This one I'm really proud of. So I haven't seen anybody else do anything similar to this. But this is a fully automated carrot farm. So what you need is, and for any carrot farm that you don't want to touch it at all and automatically get the carrots, you need at least 2 villagers. So I've got 4, one in kind of each quadrant here. And the way that this one works is once a carrot is fully grown, the farmers go, and they're pretty quick about going and grabbing those carrots and farming them. And then what will happen is, every once in a while, the farmer guys meet across the way and throw carrots at each other. Look at that. That was awesome. And then what happens is these hoppers underneath grab those carrots, and then they feed them into the sorting system. So that's kind of how that one works. This works so good on Bedrock that I don't imagine doing anything else. And it's such a simple design, too. But the way other carrot farms kind of worked is a lot of people would stick a separate villager in the cage in the corner, like over here, and then there'd be one villager left to mine or farm everything else. And then it would have to be this random chance that the farmer villager would walk over to the caged villager over here and actually throw the item. So this works so much better and so much faster. And I can even show you through here. So again, this is kind of the maintenance areas of Gargantuan through here. But basically, so I know where the carrots are filtered, so the carrots get filtered over here, and when I first built that farm, I cleared the carrots out completely, so I don't know how many days that farm's been running, but let's see how many are back here. So even the second chest, the second double chest is even full. So each of these sorters has, on this red level at least, there's only 2, because these are kind of less common items. But on the levels above, there's 4 double chests for everything that's sorted. So this one's getting pretty full. So we've produced a lot of carrots. That's so awesome. So yeah, you can go in and grab said carrots from the front of the chest. And I showed you this before already, but and then any carrots behind the wall, those automatically get fed in. So that's how you grab that. So like I said, we're kind of doing this because there aren't too many videos out there on how to do things on the Bedrock edition or on console on Xbox. So this is all done on my Xbox One. Again, this is Gargantuan. This is our Shenanigans Minecraft realm. I can show you guys some more stuff. Just, let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you're interested in building in survival. Again, we've never had this realm on creative, so everything you see here is totally possible to do in survival mode. Just let me know, if you just want to know, like, hey, how do I start with building something like this? Just put those questions in the comments, and I'll go ahead and answer them for you. All right? Thanks, guys.